Well, where they tell us things and whatnot. Essentially, it's just what they're gonna call a terrorist group and whatnot, and they just oppose of everything that what they have going on and whatnot. So that's generally it.
Okay, who's involved in the Syrian war? Obviously, the ISIS. You've got rebels who are going against Assad. Obviously, the government of the Syrian government and Assad, the United States is helping the rebels, as you noted earlier, and Russia has recently gotten involved as well.
It's the fact that the we've been trying to coordinate those governments and their own troops with select parts of our troop and our leadership within our military to train them in anti-terrorist programs and like ways of doing things. That's what we did with it's a coordinated effort. I know that much.
Hi, welcome to Hardcover News. I'm Alejandro.
And I'm Haley. It seems that many people are not aware of another Middle Eastern war and the effects of it, so we're going to run it down for you.
It started as a small civil war in Syria where citizens started protesting against their president, Bashar al-Assad.
The people were having an anti-government protest for freedom and rights.
What started as a small protest group became a rebel group, and that's where the U.S. comes into the picture.
According to WSJ.com or Wall Street Journal, President Barack Obama sent a secret order to train a small number of moderate Syrian rebels under the authority of the Central Intelligence Agency.
After the U.S. training flaked out, some of the rebels split into a new group and called it ISIS. This now new extremist group and terrorist group had actual U.S. military force training, and the U.S. wasn't exactly too happy about this.
The U.S.'s main intentions were to pursue with what the Syrians thought was right. The outcome of all that was yet another group we're now going against. What the president was going for was putting a stop to Assad, but now the main focus has turned to ISIS and the intentions they have.
Something the citizens of the U.S. were aware of was that ISIS was and still is up to no good. Not only are they a terrorist group, but they have continued to train themselves into a military group and have started taking the role of a government on territories they own. According to NBC News, previous estimates published in the media and quoting intelligence sources have said ISIS can raise between $1 to $3 million a day selling oil. Today, a U.S. official said those early figures were based largely on speculation.
With the rebel groups separating, not only did they gain the U.S. as an enemy, but half the remaining rebels trained to fight against ISIS. There is so much going on in the country of Syria and so much involvement. There isn't only Assad governing Syria, the rebel group, ISIS, or the U.S. getting involved, but Russia is getting involved and the Kurds going against ISIS. Countries and groups that are involved are just as confused as to who exactly is an enemy and who is not.
So much chaos and confusion has brought some citizens of the U.S. to wonder how the U.S. involvement with the Syrian war can affect our daily life.
2 words.
Syrian
Refugees.
According to NY Times or New York Times, the United States has accepted only a small fraction of 4 million refugees who have fled Syria, but they are settling in new places and more are on the way.
President Obama has said the United States will accept 5 times as many Syrian refugees this year as the total amount admitted in the last 4 years.
The process Syrian refugees have to go through is done through an application that takes up to 18 months to get accepted into the U.S. because of all of the securities it has to go through.
Let's see what the citizens think.
No, I don't think directly it impacts me in any way. I think that we have to be careful what we offer to these refugees. We got to make sure that they're vetted closely because ISIS, if they were smart, they'd put a couple of their personnel acting as refugees so that they can come and get access here to the United States. Also, from a political standpoint, is it any different that we're taking refugees from Syria versus the illegal Latin American personnel trying to cross the border? I mean, why is one considered legal and we'll help them out, but we won't help out others? Where are they all going to go in the United States? What benefits are going to be here for them from a medical standpoint, from pay and food and schooling and clothing? How are we going to take care of all that? I think that just saying, yeah, we're going to take a bunch in and everything's going to be great, it's not as cut and dry as that. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind it.
I think it's the right thing to do. So many European countries have agreed to take them in, and it's the U.S. should obviously it's a key player and needs to do its part as well, and it's just the morally correct thing to do for these people.
I don't think it really does affect me because we always try to make a big deal, like, oh, funding's going towards them, all this stuff. There's already plenty of enough places where funding's going to. Funding isn't allocated well enough in the first place. It's not going to affect me that much. I mean, what? A 0.00000% tax increase, maybe? That's it.
While the war in Syria is going on, there are many Syrian men, women, and children trying to find a safe haven from all the chaos that is happening in their country.
The U.S., Britain, Europe, and many neighboring countries by Syria are urged to do more about the situation with Syrian refugees.
While the higher power is still trying to figure out exactly what they're going to do, we as people should come together to help out each other in any way we can.
This is all we have for now on the war in Syria, current events, the Syrian refugees, and how people's actions can affect all of us.
This was Hardcover News. Thanks for watching.